What if the strongest power in the world wasn't loud, but silent? What if the mind trained in discipline could move through storms without flinching? And what if stillness, not struggle, was the key to unshakable strength? The silent power of a disciplined mind is something few understand, yet everyone feels when they encounter it. You'll never hear it coming. Because the truly disciplined mind doesn't make noise. It doesn't flinch under pressure. It doesn't boast in victory. It moves like a shadow, precise and calm, like a blade drawn in the dark. We live in a time where reaction rules, an age of noise, where every opinion must be shared, every emotion must be expressed, and every wound must be displayed for validation. But there is another way, a forgotten path, a quieter one walked by warriors, philosophers, emperors, and exiles. It is the path of the disciplined mind. Step 1. Learn to stand still in the storm. Most people flee chaos. When criticized, they shout back. When insulted, they retaliate. But not the disciplined. The trained mind listens. It absorbs. And it remains still. Epictetus once said, "We are disturbed not by things, but by the views which we take of them." The storm itself holds no real power until we open the door and let it in. Discipline is the inner gatekeeper. It decides what enters and what stays. Once trained, it permits nothing to break us from the inside. Step 2. Detach from the noise. People will try to provoke you. They'll test your calm. They'll need you to react, because your reaction validates their chaos. But the disciplined mind? It doesn't take the bait. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." So we don't descend to the level of those who try to drag us down. We don't shout to be heard. We stay quiet, and we let our silence speak louder than their noise. This isn't apathy, it's intention. We become what the Stoics called fortresses of reason, in a world addicted to conflict. Step 3. Convert pain into power. Pain is not the enemy. The disciplined mind welcomes it as fuel, as sharpening. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Life may bring suffering, but we choose what it becomes. Pain becomes clarity. Suffering becomes focus. Failure becomes fire. Where others collapse, we sharpen. Where others retreat, we step forward quietly, persistently. And the world watches, confused by how we keep going. They don't see the training behind our silence. The disciplined mind doesn't seek to win, it seeks to master. There is a kind of strength that is invisible. It doesn't post. It doesn't compare. It simply is. The disciplined mind is not chasing trophies. It's chasing the only thing that matters, control over the self. The undisciplined crave validation. They live for likes, applause, recognition. But we walk a different road. We ask for nothing except the next trial that will forge us deeper. Musonius Rufus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's why we stop chasing outcomes. We stop begging for rewards. And we start falling in love with the process. The early mornings, the repetition, the refusal to quit, especially when no one is watching. Because once we no longer need to win, we've already won. Once we stop fearing defeat, we become undefeatable. Step 4. Choose your chains. And you become free. To the undisciplined, structure feels like prison. Routine feels like slavery. Limits feel like loss. But the disciplined see what others cannot. That choosing your limits is choosing your freedom. To wake early, to train the body, to hold your tongue, to master emotion. These are not shackles. These are keys. Cleanthes once wrote, "Lead me, Zeus, and you too. Destiny, I shall follow, even if I must go in chains." Discipline is not punishment. It is devotion, a sacred agreement between your higher self and the chaos within. So the lower self never wins again. When we bind ourselves to principle, nothing else can bind us. We become dangerous, not because we seek to harm, but because we cannot be bought, tempted, or broken. We have already chosen our path, and that path has already made us invincible. So now you understand, real power doesn't shout. It whispers. It moves in silence. It walks without needing permission. It endures without begging for recognition. The question isn't if you will train your mind. The real question is, will you do it before the world trains it for you? Because the world will try. It will shape you by default unless you shape yourself by design. We've chosen our path. It isn't easy, but it's ours. And no one, not the critics, not the chaos, not the temptation, can take it from us. Discipline is the door, stillness is the key, and freedom is already waiting on the other side. If these words stirred something inside you, it means you're ready. Ready to choose your chains. Ready to forge yourself. So subscribe only if you're done chasing noise. And finally ready to walk the silent path. Because the world won't wait. It will demand your attention. It will pull your focus. It will offer distractions dressed as urgency. And if your mind is untrained, you will follow. But if your mind is trained, you will pause. You will breathe. You will choose. You will choose focus over frenzy. Discipline over drama. Stillness over spectacle. That is how the battle is won, not with noise, but with control, not by shouting louder, but by hearing deeper, not by winning once, but by refusing to quit every single day. That's the silent revolution of the disciplined mind. And once you step onto this path, every step, every routine, every quiet victory becomes proof that you are no longer ruled by the world. You are ruled by your principles. So ask yourself, will you train your mind before the world breaks it? Or will you step forward now, not to perform, but to master? Subscribe, not to be inspired, but to remember who you truly are. This is your sign. The time is now. Let's begin.